Hey, it's me. I've just committed murder. Oh my god, I'm totally on my way. And I'm bringing extra shovels. You'd think all the time in between my last upload of this series and this one that would taste better, but it doesn't. Hi guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is Harley Nouveau. If you did not know, you in particular, you. Welcome back to another episode, a long overdue episode of Beauty and the tea, the Starbucks tea. Look at that cute little cup. Oh, I love it. Okay. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the second most important F word in your life, unless of course you're a raging nymphomaniac or you happen to spend your career driving trucks from one gas station to another, in which case it's probably the third. And what's that word, you wonder? It's friendship. I don't know why I'm trying to hold you in suspense. Not a suspenseful person. You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose unless you're just nasty, in which case you don't need to have friends. Gross. For someone like me, who found my family life wanting, friendship really was what I turned towards to supplement the lack of emotional connection in my life. My friends have come and gone. As you know, you're gonna hear the dog squeaking in the background. As you know, I'm obsessed with fairy tales. I talk a lot about my life as if it's a storybook. You know, when I tell you to subscribe, write your name into the storybook that is my life. I've had friends that have lasted chapters. I've had friends that have been there from the beginning. I have friends that are recent additions and are quickly finding themselves as secondary protagonists in the tale that is Harley Nouveau. But there are definitely types of friends that we all have and we all know. And I want to break that down for you. I'm a Virgo and I like categorizing and organizing things. I like overanalyzing things. My birthday is in like a week, by the way, so look forward to that. But friends, we all need them. We all need most of them. You'll find through this list that there are some that I think that you need and there are some that I think you should run the hell away from. First up, we have your ride or die friend. This is that friend that is with you through thick and thin. You may call them your best friend. I personally believe that you can only have one best friend because if you have more than one, they're not your best friend. You just have one. That's the whole point of a best. You can have friends, good friends, better friends, best friend. If you qualify that, more power to you. I have one best friend. Maybe you have one best male friend, one best female friend because you can't be decisive. I'm not naming names. Anyway, ride or die friends. This is the type of friend that I have been told that I am. Your ride or die friend is going to be your most loyal friend that you have. If you're a fan of Grey's Anatomy, they talk about your person. Meredith and Christina were each other's person. This is that person for you. This is that friend that keeps you sane, that keeps you grounded, that is your rock in times of turmoil. I'm not going to say that they're non-judgmental, but usually they will support you no matter what you do in your life or how they feel about it. This is going to be the friend that knows all of your deepest, darkest secrets and still loves you for those secrets. They may know more about you than you even realize. This is that friend that you would call when you need to hide the body. And you'll often find that if you do not have this particular kind of friend in your life, that there seems to be a piece missing. Next, you have your situational friend, your social acquaintance friend, call them what you will. This is probably somebody that you spend a lot of time around, whether it be through work or through school or just through circumstance, that if you had to go out of your way to name your list of friends, you probably would not include them. But if you were ever in a situation that forced proximity to them, you would probably cling on. Let's say you're at an office party, this is probably the person that you would stick to. If you're at school, this is probably the person you talk to the most. If you're ever in a bar and some creeper's hitting on you, this is probably the person you'd be like, hey, my friend's over there, gotta go. Now, statistics indicate, regardless of what you're doing, if you spend your time isolated in any forced situation like a job or school or whatever, grocery shopping, you're gonna be more depressed. So that's why these people are around. These are gonna be the ones that occupy your time in an otherwise cold, lonely world when your actual friends aren't there to occupy it. Chat with them at the water cooler, chat with them at your desk, chat with them while you wait for the professor to arrive. In the lunchroom as you're eating the leftovers that you inevitably have because you're cooking for one. There's somebody that you click with when you're forced to click, if that makes sense. Next we have your spontaneous tryhard. The world is a bountiful, endless place of opportunity and so many things to do and people to meet and stuff to experience. And many of us are not the type to go out of our way to go and do that, to go see the sights, meet the people, eat the food. Many of us get so caught up living our day-to-day lives that we actually forget to make it fun, to, live, to actually live. We just exist. This is that friend who kind of keeps you on your toes. They're gonna pull you out of your shell. They're gonna introduce you to new ideas. They're gonna be that person, like when you go out to the bar, you go out to the club, you go out in public, this is that person that's probably gonna try something new. She's gonna walk up to random people and make an embarrassment of your entire group. She's gonna be dancing in public like a total lunatic. I say try hard because usually they're so spontaneous that it comes across as forced sometimes, but I think we all need a little bit of that in our life to make us move outside of our boxes, if you will. This is probably gonna be that friend that you're like, calm your brakes. They can be a little bit grating and tiresome to be around all the time, but when you want to have fun and you really want to put yourself out there, this is the person that you call. Just be warned, they're not very reliable people. Then you have your friend next door, if you will. This is going to be similar to like a work acquaintance or social friend, person that you are, and I use this word very lightly, friends with through circumstance. Let's say if you ever went to college, these are probably going to be the people on your dorm floor that you became acquainted with and friendly with, but once you got out of your dorm, you never spoke to them again. If you live on a street or in a suburb, these are going to be like your actual neighbors. These days, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't really that familiar with their neighbors, if you will, which is a shame. Because these are the people that you back in the day, you needed a cup of sugar, you knew who to go to. If you're on vacation and you realize that you forgot to lock your door, or you forgot to turn off the water and you left this morning, or you need to feed your dog, these are the people that you'd probably give a call in that scenario. They're nice, they're dependable, they have your back, but you don't go out of your way to hang out with them, and you probably would never tell anybody that you're friends with them because they would just never come up in conversation unless it's just pure stroke of luck. But while these are good friends to have, I highly don't recommend going out of your way to look for them. Just let it happen naturally, because if you show up at your neighbor's house at any time of the day and you're like, hey, let's be friends, would you like a lasagna? They're probably not gonna like you. I mean, as Tatiana says, choices. There are a few things that humans can smell as we've evolved past our sense of basic animal function, but two of those things are fear and desperation. These are the kind of friends that they just fall in your lap if you seek them out. Desperation. And then we have your brutally honest friends. There are gonna be times in your life when you really need a nice, cold dose of reality. This is gonna be that person that gives it to you in bulk. The one who isn't just content at telling you that maybe your outfit's not the most flattering. No, they won't stop there. They'll probably let you know that you look like a beached whale and you'll probably never find a love interest ever again if you leave the house wearing that. And not only that, but they won't even speak to you if you run into them in public wearing that outfit. In fact, you should probably just throw the whole thing away. Throw yourself away because you picked the outfit out. If you are in a bad situation and everybody is enabling you, because that's what people do, we don't have backbone. So let's say you went back to that boyfriend who's treated you like crap 4,000 times. Let's say you're calling up that friend of yours that's walked all over you like a doormat that they found at Bed Bath & Beyond since you met them when you were 12. This is going to be that friend that tells you, not on my watch, not on your watch. They're going to come take those rose-colored glasses off of your face, and they're probably going to crush them underneath their heel right in front of you. And it's going to hurt like hell at the time. You're probably not going to like this friend most of the time that you're friends with them, but they're there for a reason and they serve a very important service. And you'll be thankful for them in the end. Now, it is worth noting that these friends are also probably going to think that they are completely infallible, so be prepared to deal with that. But hey, if they want to throw some piping hot tea in your face on the regular, brew up a gallon and get to chunking. You also have your yin or your yang. This is going to be someone who is like the complete opposite to you. You don't know why you are friends. You don't have anything in common. And when people look at the two of you, they go, how did you get here? There's this thing, all animals have it. It's like a pack mentality. We all wish to fit in and find a group to surround ourselves with, you'll find yourself around like-minded individuals. You know, birds of a feather flock together. Let's say you're a cheerleader. Most of your friends probably cheerleaders or in a similar category as that, but you might have that one friend that's like a mathlete or a theater kid. It's important to have people that share your values and your interests, but when you surround yourself with nothing but that, similar to your spontaneous try-hard friend, this is going to be a friend that kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone, gets you a little outside of the box. They help open your eyes up to like different viewpoints in the world. Frequently they disagree with you. They give you a little bit of competition because you always have different opinions on things, but competition is healthy, and getting different perspectives on a situation is healthy. These are going to be friends that you probably aren't around a lot, but it's important that you do have them there somewhat so things don't get stagnant, because nobody likes stagnant anything, I hope. You also have your mentor / guide friends. We all need a friend that inspires us to be better. We all have a friend that we turn to in times of crisis or whenever we need guidance. And this is going to be that friend that holds the map for you. This is going to be that friend that points you along your way. I'm not necessarily saying they'll be a better person than you, but you'll probably think that they have their head on a little more correct than you do. This doesn't have to be someone that shares any similarities to you at all, actually, like whether it be hobbies or work. It's just someone who comes across as a few steps ahead in life, who may not have all the answers, but they have the answers that you're currently looking for. Pretty common for this person to either be older than you literally, or maybe mentally beyond their years. Usually this is going to be that person that you always wondered why, if they're not older than you, they hang around with a bunch of people that are older than you. You know, that kid in school that you picked on because he was friends with all the teachers but never spoke to any of the actual classmates. It can be anyone, as long as you look up to them and you want to follow their guidance. This can go both ways. You can have good versions and bad versions of this. People who you look up to as a mentor or guide but have no business being that, and can't even put their own shoes on correctly, let alone lead you to any semblance of happiness. The sea of life is a treacherous one to navigate on your own. You definitely don't want to do it with a broken compass. But when they're good, they're great. Maybe not emotionally the best person, because they can come across as kind of aloof, but potentially one of the most valuable friends that you can have. Lastly, we have the outsider. This is going to be a similar concept to the polar opposite yin-yang kind of friend, but this is more of a social / cultural thing as opposed to personal viewpoints. This is going to be your friend that's probably from a different culture. If everyone had a friend that was an outsider or outlier, I think that things would be a lot better because we would all be a lot more familiar with walking in each other's shoes. These are going to be your friends that have a different religion, different socioeconomic status, different cultural background, different race, different ethnicity. This is going to be that friend that you probably can't relate to at surface value on anything across the board. They may even teach you to change the way that you view the world around you, but there is a caveat with this. This is arguably the most fragile type of friendship to have because, to be frank, what I'm talking about is tokenizing. This is going to be that friend that if you force it, it's going to look like the token. I don't want to say the token because that's bad. They shouldn't be a token, but it's very common for people to probably think they are, especially if you are going out of your way to look for them. Keep your mind open. If you meet somebody that is one of those things and they legitimately interest you, try to build a friendship with them. Like I said, be careful. Nobody likes feeling like a collectible. We all like feeling like we have worth. That concludes the types of friends that you want to have around you. Let's talk about two that you probably should avoid. And by probably, I mean you should go running in the opposite direction. These are those friends that they don't raise a red flag per se, but if you know what you're looking for, it looks like you're touring the entire red flag factory. First and foremost, we're gonna have your frenemy. Now I know what you're thinking, frenemies can be fun. But the reason that they are called a frenemy in the first place is because part of that friendship is an enemy. Part of that friend is an enemy to you. Usually a frenemy is not concerned about making you a better person. There's somebody that want you to think that you're their friend, but they're probably actually trying to bring you down. I know that may seem not fair to say, but as you mature more emotionally through the years, you'll realize that your friends that you thought were your friends, but ended up being the most toxic individuals for you, most likely were actually in this category. Let's say they had a lot in common with you, and you hung out and did stuff together all the time, but they didn't want you to have any other friends, and they didn't want you to succeed, and they didn't want you to feel good about yourself. You know what I'm talking about, the plastics, the Regina Georges of the world. Yes, in the end, this frenemy can turn into an actual friend, but when they're in the frenemy category, it's best to treat them like you would a plague. Keep them at a distance. Shun them. Definitely don't invite them into your life. There is enough opposition that we face just existing in this world. You don't need to actively seek out more opposition in the form of a wolf in sheep's clothing. And then lastly, probably the hardest one to spot and the most commonly known, you can call them what you will. Essentially, these are going to be people that they don't add anything negative to your life per se, but essentially they're going to be a parasite. They're going to take up your time, they're going to take up your attention, they're going to suck you dry, and when the going gets rough, they're going to flow off with the breeze. And you have to learn to let those kind of friends go. These are going to be people that you feel as though you are putting in 95% of the work into the friendship and you're getting back like 5. They're never there when you need them. When you're going through something, they're nowhere to be seen. If times are good, they're at your side. If your life were a story, these people wouldn't even have names. And the sad thing is that a lot of people don't even realize that they have friends like this. Friends that are just kind of a drain on their journey towards your North Star. And I don't even think that the people who fall in this category realize that they do either. Maybe not consciously. Let's say you consider yourself popular. If you found yourself surrounded by numerous people and you're the type that thinks, I have a lot of friends, but you always feel lonely and you always feel like you're roughing it by yourself, it's probably because these are the type of friends that you have, because they're not there for any other purpose than to use you for their own betterment. You're going to meet a lot of these people along the way. Find the diamonds in the rough, if you will. Find the needle in the haystack. The hay being this person right here. The needle being the other 8 that I mentioned prior to frenemies. I mean, you do whatever the hell you want to at the end of the day. These are just lessons that I've picked up along the way, either from personal experience or from guides in my life that I've come across. So that's the tea I had to depart unto you today. Was it hot? Was it cold? Was it bland? Was it tasty? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks again for stopping by and spending some time with me. Feel free to like or share or subscribe to my channel. I would always love to have you write your name into the storybook that is my life. But that's all she wrote for today. So as always, I'm Harley Nouveau, and until our stars next align.